Traveling the Vortex.
We're traveling the Vortex with the Fugitive Doctor and have landed on Skaro, where we witness the dawn of the Daleks and the Kaleds there left fighting to survive. I'm Glenn, and I'm here with another Circuit Breaker review. This time it's Titan Comics' second entry into the series, Dawn of the Daleks. This issue of Circuit Breaker sends the Fugitive Doctor to Skaro, where she discovers a hidden enclave of surviving Kaleds living underground, desperately holding out against Dalek extermination. What begins as a simple mission to return a corrupted artifact becomes a story of survival, sacrifice, and the Doctor's evolving moral compass. The story begins with Fliss, a Kaled scientist working on weather controls and greenhouse systems in an underground bunker community. Her peaceful moment is shattered by a breach alert, foreshadowing Dalek danger. A few pages later, the Doctor arrives in her TARDIS, surprising the bunker residents. The Kaleds initially suspect she's a Dalek trick, but she quickly proves otherwise. Fliss gives the Doctor a tour of their underground world, showing her an artificial sky system, hydroponic irrigation, a greenhouse for delicate crops, and a flowing river for water cycling. But peace here is impossible. The Daleks have been hunting them for years. Fliss explains their tragic history. This is the last of the Kaleds, forced underground by the Daleks' extermination campaign. Only 103 survivors remain. The Doctor learns the Daleks have already broken through the final defenses. The attack begins immediately. Toby, Fliss's partner, sacrifices himself to buy time for the Doctor and the others to escape. Fliss leads the Doctor and the survivors through a dangerous surface route towards another bunker. The surface is littered with hand mines. The hand mines claim several lives and almost claims the Doctor's until Fliss uses a prototype sonic weapon to deactivate them. The survivors then discover a massive Dalek factory built atop Davros's old laboratory network. Fliss realizes the Daleks are preparing for universal conquest, producing multiple Dalek variants for different environments. Inside the factory, the Doctor tries to usher the survivors toward a hatch leading to safety, but Fliss refuses to leave. She believes staying behind to sabotage the Daleks is the only meaningful act left. The Doctor tries desperately to stop her, but Fliss chooses to fight. Fliss confronts the Daleks head-on, buying time for the others to escape. Her final stand is defiance. She reactivates the hand mine and hurls it at the oncoming Daleks and their leader. She dies in the resulting collapse that destroys part of the Dalek factory. The Doctor offers to take the remaining Kaleds off Skaro, but they refuse. They tell her that this is their home and that they have fought their entire lives to preserve it. Instead, the Doctor uses Andrew's resistor gun to remove the energy from the time ring, the artifact that she's meant to return to Skaro. She gives it to the remaining Kaleds, allowing them to escape if they ever choose to. Returning to Unit's Black Archive, a somber Doctor meets with Osgood and Andrew. Reflecting on the tragedy and Fliss's selflessness, she apologizes for her earlier abrasive behavior and commits to working more compassionately with others moving forward. The issue ends with the Doctor stepping forward into her future, still rough around the edges, but evolving. So let's start with the art in this issue. It is gorgeous. It's bold, saturated, and full of energy, a visual palette that refuses to let Skaro feel drab or monochrome. Instead, the underground Kaled world is rendered in rich color and texture, making their fragile ecosystem feel alive and worth fighting for. The artificial sky, the hydroponics, the greenhouse, all of it pops with color, reinforcing the Kaled's ingenuity and hope. Then, when the Daleks arrive, the palette shifts. The colors become harsher, more metallic, more oppressive. The contrast between the bunker's warmth and the Dalek factory's cold brutality is one of the issue's strongest artistic choices. Dawn of the Daleks delivers the most emotional resonant chapter in the series so far, a story where the Fugitive Doctor is present, but the heart, tragedy, and heroism belongs entirely to Fliss. This issue is a brutal, beautifully constructed tragedy about resistance, identity, and the cost of survival. Fliss's sacrifice is the emotional and thematic anchor, and it reshapes the Doctor's trajectory in a meaningful way. The opening stretch, Fliss is guiding the Doctor through the bunker's artificial sky, hydroponics, and river systems, is quite stunning. It's a rare glimpse of Kaled ingenuity used for preservation rather than war. But that serenity is a facade. The Daleks have been hunting these survivors for years, and the tension is baked into every page. The reveal that only 103 Kaleds remain hits hard. It reframes the bunker not as a refuge, but as a mausoleum waiting to be filled. The breach comes fast, and Toby's sacrifice is the first gut punch. His death isn't drawn out or melodramatic. It's abrupt, horrifying, and exactly the kind of loss that defines life under Dalek oppression. The hand mines, last seen in The Magician's Apprentice and Witch's Familiar two-parter, are used brilliantly here. They're not just a nostalgic callback, they're a genuine threat that nearly kills the Doctor. Fliss's prototype sonic weapon feels like a clever twist on Kaled tech, reinforcing her role as the story's true problem solver. The discovery of a massive Dalek factory built atop Davros's old labs is one of the issue's strongest lore beats. It hints at the multiform Dalek expansion, a chilling concept that ties neatly into classic Dalek evolution. It's a reminder that the Daleks never stop innovating, especially when conquest is on the horizon. And then there's Fliss's final stand. This is where the issue transcends its setup. Fliss refusing to flee is not framed as reckless, it's conviction. Her decision to stay behind and sabotage the Daleks is the culmination of everything we've learned about her scientific brilliance, her cultural loyalty, her grief, and her refusal to let the Daleks define the last chapter of Kaled history. Her final act, reactivating the hand mine and hurling it at the Daleks, is operatic, desperate, and unforgettable. It's one of the most powerful sacrifices in recent Doctor Who storytelling. The surviving Kaled's refusal to leave Skaro is quite devastating. The Doctor offers escape, but the Daleks decline. They choose homeland over survival. It's a powerful statement about cultural resilience and a reminder that not every tragedy ends with rescue. The Doctor giving them the time ring is a perfect compromise, not salvation, but possibility. The Doctor's role in this story is intentionally minimal. She doesn't save the day, she doesn't outsmart the Daleks, she doesn't even lead the survivors. Instead, she witnesses, she learns, she softens. This is a story about the Doctor being forced to confront the consequences of her detachment, a key theme in the Fugitive era. Her apology to Osgood and Andrew in the Black Archive is understated but meaningful. It signals a shift towards compassion without sanding down her rough edges. Dawn of the Daleks is a standout issue, tense, emotional, and thematically rich. It deepens Dalek lore, expands the Fugitive Doctor's character arc, and introduces one of the most compelling one-issue heroes in recent Doctor Who comics. Fliss's sacrifice lingers long with the reader. It's her story, her victory, and her legacy, and the Doctor is better for having witnessed it. So what did you think of Dawn of the Daleks? Be sure to leave your review in the comments below. And did you know that more than 3/4 of those watching these videos or listening to this podcast are not subscribed? So do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you'll be notified about our next review. And next time we're looking at the next Circuit Breaker entry, Castling, which is an event in the Lost in Time video game made by Eastside Games. Be sure to check that out when it's released. And until next time, I'm Glenn. Cheers!